What's going on, everyone? So, week one has just concluded in the NFL season, and this is now the reaction video to it. So, we're going to start off with Thursday night football, and that did not quite go the way I thought it would. In the past, the team that has won the Super Bowl usually has a history of winning the opener. I think it was like 6 out of the last 7 years. The Super Bowl winning team has won the opener at home, kind of carrying that momentum and everything, but that did not happen. Josh Allen played very well, and more importantly, Von Miller really stole the show. Matt Stafford could not get comfortable at all, and really the only wide receiver on the Rams that could make plays was Cooper Kupp. So the Rams are going to have to figure it out moving on, but the Bills already look very, very good with an impressive win on the road. And I know it's only 1 week, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see the Bills in at least the AFC Championship this year. So moving on, we have, let's just get this one out of the way, the Patriots and Dolphins. There's one thing that always happens every single year, and that's the Patriots losing in Miami. Of course I picked them because I'm not going to pick against the Patriots week one, but we just cannot win in Miami. And apparently we can't win against Tua either. As far as the game goes, honestly, both offenses played very poorly. We had 3 turnovers. One of them was an interception. The ball was a little underthrown, but I didn't think it was a horrible pass. The defense just made a great play on the ball. And then we had a wide receiver fumble. And then the protection for Mac was horrible. I think out of all the games this week one, he had like the least amount of time to throw the ball. Blindside strip sack, which they also scored on. The Dolphins scored 20 points. 7 of them were from the defense. And the rest of them, well, they did score a touchdown. I think it was Jalen Waddle turned a 7-yard pass into like a 40-yard touchdown. Both offenses played horrible, but the Dolphins defense played better than our defense and O-line and everything. So that's that. We have the Saints and the Falcons. The Falcons still like to blow leads. I did pick the Falcons for this game. They were up for almost the entire game, and then the Saints mounted a comeback and won 27-26. I knew they were capable of winning, but I knew the Saints could win this game, but I was really hoping the Falcons would just stop blowing leads and would actually take care of business. That didn't happen. Jameis Winston looked pretty good in the second, well, I shouldn't say the second half. The fourth quarter, he looked pretty good in the fourth quarter, but the Falcons, they didn't look horrible either. Browns beat the Panthers 26-24. I thought the Panthers would win this game, but the Browns played solid enough to get the win on the road, so it'll be interesting to see what happens for these two teams moving forward. The Bears beat the 49ers 19-10. This was sort of an odd game, and I don't remember who I picked, but I think I picked the Bears for this game. The field was drenched. It was like backyard football, and the Bears just played a little bit better. We'll see what happens next week for those two teams as well, but I think I got that game right. I don't know. I'll have to go back and watch. I was on the fence about those two teams, but the Bears did play a little bit better, so we'll see what they're capable of. The Steelers beat the Bengals 23-20. Honestly, this was probably the craziest game of the entire week. Back and forth, so many turnovers, but the Steelers' defense played outstanding, and Trubisky played well enough. So that was a huge shock. I got that one wrong too. Those divisional games, though, they can be crazy sometimes, and that certainly was. Eagles beat the Lions 38-35. I thought this might be a close game. I think the Lions are going to be much better this year than last year. and that was just a crazy back and forth game. I think I did pick the Eagles though. I don't quite remember, but I think I picked them. Either way, Eagles came away with a victory, and now with Dak Prescott being injured, the Eagles could make a serious run at the division. Texans and Colts tie. I wasn't even sure who to pick for this game. I might have picked the Texans, but it doesn't really matter because neither team won. I'm not sure what to think. Both teams played pretty mediocre, so we'll just have to see what happens in week 2. Ravens beat the Jets 24-9. I thought this game could be one of those games that is a little bit closer, but the Jets offense just couldn't do anything. Ravens look pretty good, like they usually would when Lamar is healthy. So we'll see if they keep taking it to another level in the next week. Washington beat the Jaguars 28-22. This game was pretty close. Carson Wentz had a really nice touchdown pass. I picked Washington to win this game, and it went pretty similar to how I thought it might go. Okay, this next game actually was... I know I said the Steelers and the Bengals game was the craziest, but this next game actually shocked me the most. Really, the most out of any game. And that was the Giants going on the road to Tennessee and winning. 21-20. Saquon played great. Daniel Jones played efficient. And the Giants defense played pretty well, actually. And then the coaching was pretty good, too. So they managed to pull off a win against the Titans. Did not see that coming, that's for sure. So we'll see what happens with those two teams. Can the Titans recover? Can the Giants build on this? We'll see. Chiefs destroy the Cardinals 44-21. The Chiefs haven't lost an opener, or they haven't lost a week 1 game in like 7 or 8 years now. I was tempted to pick the Cardinals, but I went with the Chiefs because they're just better. Even without Tyreek Hill, sometimes it just makes your team play better. And Cardinals without Hopkins is hurting them a little bit. Chiefs were just the better team. Mahomes, outstanding 5 touchdown passes. He probably had the best week out of any player. Raiders Chargers. I thought that would be a close game. I did go with the Chargers, and they were able to win at home. Good game, but I think both these teams can still have solid seasons either way. Vikings Packers. I absolutely picked the Vikings to win this game, and they won 23-7. Played very, very well. I think the Vikings will be good this year. I really think the Vikings have a serious shot winning the division. They have a good offense, a good defense, and the Packers, I know they've had a few rough starts to different past seasons, but they really don't have talent at the wide receiver position, so it's going to be interesting. And the Vikings have had their way playing at home against the Packers the past few years, so I didn't expect anything different. Buccaneers beat the Cowboys 19-3. I didn't expect the Cowboys to only score 3 points. I thought this would be a higher scoring game, actually. Not quite the defensive battle that it was. Micah Parsons played great. The Buccaneers defense played better than I thought it would. Brady looked pretty good. Prescott struggled not having Amari Cooper. CeeDee Lamb, I thought he would have a bigger game, but they really covered him well, unfortunately, because he is on my fantasy team. So hopefully he'll still be able to get some points. Dak now with a thumb injury out 6 to 8 weeks, they say. I don't know what they're going to do for quarterback. Right now it's Cooper Rush, who is not the worst backup, but it's still a downgrade. So that will be really interesting to keep an eye on. And then our final game, the Broncos and the Seahawks. I did pick the Broncos to win, but the Seahawks pulled it off, and I'm not completely shocked. I'm surprised, but I'm not completely shocked. Geno has had some good games before, and Russell Wilson, first week with a brand new team, going into, I know it's his home stadium, but it's hard to play with that noise. And then the coaching at the end, not so sure about that call for the 64-yard field goal instead of going for it. Fourth down, 5 yards to go. You just paid Russell all this money, and then you have the kicker kick the field goal. maybe not ideal. So Seahawks came away with a victory. Really, the Broncos could have won if they had taken better care of the football, having 2 fumbles at the goal line. But hey, the Seahawks better ball security, and they deserve to win. So that is my conclusion from week 1. I think the best performances go to definitely Mahomes. Got to give the Giants some credit. Got to give the Steelers some credit. And I hate both of those teams, but you got to give them credit for those victories. Even the Seahawks, a little bit of credit there. Honestly, Brady still looks really good. I think he and Julio Jones will be a big threat this year. And the disappointing teams, well, the Patriots were disappointing, only scoring 7 points. Same thing with the Broncos. But it's 1 week, so we got, 17 more weeks, 16 more games per team. We'll have the next prediction video out in a couple of days, but off to an exciting start, and can't wait to see what happens next. We'll see you in the next video.